it personal, but I ain't lying. I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying.
Hey kids, welcome back to my channel. This is Stingray. Those of you who are new to my channel, thank you, welcome. Would you please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and let's be a part of the family, huh? In my last video, I did a Q&A, and there was one question that I left out on purpose because I wanted to do this individually. On my Q&A video, if you did not see it, please check it out. The one question was, how is your health? Now, some people, the people who actually know me, my personal friends and family, they know that I was diagnosed with what's called Crohn's disease. Now, so I will give you all a few tips on what Crohn's disease is. And what I did was I looked it up online to see what the top 20 questions about Crohn's disease were, what those questions were. So I jotted a few down, and I just want to give you all my backstory on the diagnosis and what it means to me in my life. So here we go. What is Crohn's disease? It's the digestive tract disorder. It could affect anywhere from your mouth to your anus, actually. It's where anywhere in that digestive tract swells up, inflames. And in the inflammation, you can't pass water, food, nothing. You can't eat it because your whatever portion of your body that the Crohn's attacks is swollen, literally. Like if your eye was ever swollen shut, you can't open it to see. Just imagine that in your digestive tract. So food can't go through, okay? It was diagnosed, or it was discovered by a doctor named Crohn. I think that was his name, Crohn, in 1932, somewhere in New York. He was a doctor, and he noticed that the same symptoms there were a few patients with the same symptoms. And I can't remember what the technical or the medical term for it is. It is in the IBS family, or the irritable bowel syndrome family. But it was named after him because he was the one who discovered it. So Crohn, I think it was his name. Again, he was a gastroenterologist, and it was in 1932 or 33. One of those years. Please don't quote me. In New York. So that's what Crohn's disease is. It affects the entire digestive tract. What are the symptoms? Symptoms can vary. I believe the most common symptom is abdominal pain. When I tell you that you get abdominal pain, hear me when I say it. I have 3 children. I've had contractions before. I would prefer to have contractions. Contractions come and go. This abdominal pain will have you bending down to touch your toes. It is sharp and it is dull at the same time. And it is constant. It does not stop. It could be the abdominal pain. It could be abdominal cramping. It could be diarrhea. It could be nausea. Those are the most common symptoms. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I don't have any enemies, but I would not wish that pain on anyone. It's crazy. Next question. When were you diagnosed? Okay, this was part of what someone inboxed me. When was I diagnosed, and what part of the digestive tract does the Crohn's affect for you? I was diagnosed in May 1988, so 32 years ago. And that'll let you know how old I am. Um, and I was 14 at the time. Do the math. Yeah, I was diagnosed in May 1988, and it affects my small intestine. Um, yeah, only my small intestine. Yeah, that's the only part, and my colon. Some portion of my colon. Um, yeah, which segues into the next question: have I had any surgeries? I have had multiple surgeries for this ailment. Um, the most recent surgery I had was in 2004. Um, I had 6 inches of my transverse colon removed. So, right where the stomach and colon go over, and right here where the colon goes down into the intestine, and I don't mind showing you, there's a portion where I had to have a colostomy and had part of my colon removed. So that portion right there is will forever be a permanent scar and will always be a reminder, of that procedure that I had. I'm not ashamed of the scar, um, because I survived a surgery. In any surgery, um, survival is what's best. I mean, it's Crohn's is anyway. I've had multiple surgeries, multiple. I had the colostomy. For those of you who do not know what a colostomy is, it's if you've ever heard of someone having the bag, where they have a bag where they have bowel movements into the bag so that it doesn't pass through the rest of that digestive tract. I had that. And I had to have that because I had a portion of my colon removed, 6 inches of my colon removed because it was perforated, it was torn. Um, and that was from the swelling, you know. So I had to have that done. Thank God I only had to have it for 2 months. I had the surgery in August. So, yes, and then reversed or removed in November. So, early November, late September. So, yeah, thank God I only needed that for about 2 months. And both surgeries were fine, obviously. Here I am, thank God. Has it affected your life? It has not. I'm able to do everything that my peers have done, my family have done, friends. I can swim. It's never negatively affected my life and how I live. Never, thank God. Is it hereditary? That I'm aware of, it is not hereditary. However, my mom and my oldest son um, were both diagnosed with an irritable bowel syndrome, with an IBS, not necessarily Crohn's. My eldest son had a small, very short bout with ileitis, which is in the same family, not as severe. But I thank God that that bout is over because I nearly lost my mind. I wouldn't wish this on anyone, like I said. And for it to happen to my son, no. But again, as far as I know of, this is not, Crohn's is not hereditary. Um, that's all I know so far. Medications and treatments. I've had thousands of medications. At first diagnosis, I think I was on like maybe 8 medications 3 times a day. But most recently, I take no over-the-counter medications or no oral medications. I do take an infused medication called Remicade, and that is infused every 8 weeks. I go to an oncologist's office and I sit in with other patients who get The infusion medication, albeit for Crohn's disease, cancer patients getting chemotherapy, and patients getting medications for rheumatoid arthritis. So I have this done, like I said, every 8 weeks, and it's a 4 to 6 hour procedure. And the medication is pumped in along with Benadryl to offset any possible allergies or allergic reactions. I do not use the medication does go into the vein IV, not through my arms or anywhere. I have a catheter. I don't know if you can see that scar right there. I have a catheter, which is called a portacath. They surgically implant it, and it hits a main vein. So the medication there, because my veins are shot, because I've been in the hospital so many times and needed to be poked and prodded with so many different needles and medications and things. So I had the catheter put in, and it's golden. It's one pinch, they tape it down, the medication goes, and I remember loving it so much that, and this is sad, when I was in the hospital, when you have the IVs taped to your arms, you have to keep your arms straight because the elbow, and I could move my arms freely because it was taped here. And I could just do whatever I needed to do with my arms. They bring my daughter up to the hospital, I do her hair, and I was okay. But those memories, I declare. Anyway, so that's the medication. It's called Remicade, and the treatment is every 8 weeks for me. Some patients can go longer, some patients can go shorter, but my doctor found that having the treatment every 8 weeks was perfect for me. Any side effects of the medication? Yes, I can hold food on my stomach now. And baby, food is good. Huh? Food is good. I have doubled my weight. Literally. I have literally doubled my weight since getting this medication, this Remicade infusion. I'm going to say thank God, because at one point I wasn't able to hold food. I couldn't hold it on a plate. One, I was too weak to hold the plate up. And two, my digestive tract just would not agree with anything I tried to eat. Going back to my diagnosis, I remember when I was diagnosed, I went down from like 132-ish down to like 90 some pounds in a matter of 2 or 3 months. And oh man, it was hell on my body physically and mentally, because I was made fun of in school. I was going into high school. Well, I was already in high school, but like I was just made fun of. I was made fun of. Yeah, I really was. I was made fun of by a lot of people who are my friends now on Facebook. Okay, next question. What happens if you stop taking the medications? I can only assume what could happen, because I'm not going to stop taking the medications to find out. I'm guessing, like with any other ailment and medications that you take, if you stop, either the situation arises again. But I'm really not certain. I have not read any articles or anything about people who have had, adverse effects of not taking the medications anymore. And I'm guessing that maybe because I've been on this medication for so long and it's worked so well, thank God, all this time, maybe I could scale back on the dosage, but that's up to my gastroenterologist to, decide, and for me, to agree or not. But again, I'm not sure what would happen if I stopped taking the medication. Let's see. Did you have to change your diet and or your lifestyle? Not necessarily. I know a few people who have Crohn's, and there are certain things that they cannot eat. Fortunately, I'm able to tolerate any and everything that I eat. I've never had any effect or bad effect on any food that I've eaten or anything that I've drank or anything like that. But I mean, I guess you would play it by ear, kind of like if a person has acid reflux or GERD, they wouldn't eat spicy foods because that would exacerbate it. But from my experience, and again, I've been diagnosed for 32 years. I was diagnosed 32 years ago. I don't have any food that there's no food that I cannot tolerate. Um, Obviously, if since I've been on the medication, I've doubled my weight. But I just try to eat healthy. Like I eat salad on top of my bacon cheeseburger, but I know that I should leave the bacon cheeseburger alone and just eat the salad. But that's not what this video is about. Now is it? So I just have a little something here. Crohn's disease is not a death sentence. It is not. It's a minor setback that allows you the opportunity to redo your diet and make lifestyle changes. And I did start, my water intake is a lot greater now. I have like 8 of these a day, literally 8 of these a day, because I sit next to a water cooler and I have to pass a water cooler to get to the refrigerator. So if I'm getting something to drink, it would make no sense to pass water to get juice. And I don't buy juice anyway. So it allowed me, like I said, it allowed me to make changes in my life, and it allowed me to look seriously into what I wanted my body to look like, what I wanted my body to feel like, and how I wanted to feel mentally about what I saw when I looked in the mirror. And for a long time, I had a hard battle with what I saw in the mirror at any weight, whether I was smaller or at my heavier weight. I've always had an issue with what I saw in the mirror. But I know that when I look at me, I know who I am inside, and I'm very satisfied with who I am. I'm very satisfied with who I see when I look in the mirror. And that took years, and I mean years, to come to that. Regardless of me having children, regardless of me being married, I had to come to that. I had to love what I saw in the mirror, And I think when I did finally love who I saw in the mirror, I started to love me more. Okay, let's get back to the Crohn's. So again, it's not a death sentence, and but I will say, if you feel that you have any of those symptoms that I mentioned, like the constant stomach pain and the diarrhea and vomiting and just feeling anything in the abdomen area, please call a doctor. Because although it's not a deadly disease, and from what I know of as of this video, back from my diagnosis, there is no cure, but there is treatment, and the earlier it's detected, the better your odds are, or the better your odds are. And that's just it. So, just make sure you talk to a doctor, make sure you take care of you. And that's all I got for today. I just wanted to come back with this last question of the Q&A that I left off, like I said, intentionally, so that I could bring it in the forefront. A lot of people suffer with Crohn's disease, and a lot of people are living with Crohn's disease. And like I always say, I was diagnosed with it. I don't have it. It doesn't have me. I was diagnosed with it. And I am living my best life. And I appreciate you guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. And I love you. Peace.
Taking just